Hi, I'm Brian Thomas. Welcome to US Drive UK. I'm an advanced driving tutor. I hope you enjoy the clip that's coming up, but if you're feeling a bit anxious about driving on the left side, why not book a couple of driving sessions with me to help you get confident? Places are limited, so call me today. See you soon. See you soon. What we're going to do today is take a look at some bends. So I'm just starting off at the Five Ways roundabout at Mildenhall. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the second exit and head towards Bury, because we're going to talk a bit about cornering, as I said. So we're just going to use some bends to kind of demonstrate the kind of things that we need to look for and just kind of keeping the car safe. So great roundabout this. So we've always got to think here, can we get out first of all from the right hand side? So we're looking at the traffic that's coming from the right, and of course once you've got a clear gap from the right, you've then got to look ahead and see if the traffic lights are in your favour or not, because you might have to stop very shortly as soon as you've joined the roundabout. So there's my gap, and we've got a red light, as I said, so we're just going to stop behind this one here. So lights are at red at the moment. We can have a look at the traffic coming on the A11 from Norfolk. So when they start to stop and slow down, we get an early warning of when our lights are going to change. So I'm going to put a signal here to leave the roundabout. So it's quite a good little road this. It gives us lots of opportunity for different kind of bends. So we're going to talk about what's happening and what sort of vision we've got. So right in the distance there, we can see a car coming towards us with one behind, and we can see from the angle of the car that we have got a bend coming up on the left hand side. So we've also got a sign for some parking in 1/4 mile. So that tells us the sort of things that might be coming up the road. And we've also got a pedestrian up here on the left hand side, so I've got to have a look and see what's coming up. So I think he was thumbing a lift, so we'll continue along the road now. We've also got a bit of what we call dead ground coming up here, which means we can't really see anything. But if we look at the trees, we can see the road bends round to the left, and now we can see there's a bend round to the right, because if you look at the position of where the blue parking sign is, and now we've got a bend coming round to the left. So I'm just going to move out slightly to the right to see if I can get an earlier vision of what's coming up round the corner. So we've got the red car, the white car and the grey one, and we'll see if the bend opens out a bit. It does. There's a little bit of a straight, and then there's a bend to the right. We've also got another parking sign, so we've got to look and see if any cars are coming out of that parking sign. So the road now bends to the right. We've got some double white lines. Okay, so that's designed so that people can't actually overtake on that section. So now we've got another bend to the right. I'm going to creep over a bit to the left so I can get a wider view, and I can see up ahead by just moving out to the right slightly before each left hand bend, we can get a view of what's coming down the road. So we've got another bend to the left. There's our car coming towards us, shows that he's come and he's doing a right hand bend, which means we've got to go left. So we're looking here, we've got a right hand bend coming up, so we're just kind of moving over slightly to get a view down the road, and now we can't see anything ahead because there's a bit of a dip, so cars could be coming towards us in that dip, and we've got to think about what's there. So now we've got more of a straight, so we've got a sign coming up that says hidden dip, so that means there's actually a dip in the road where we could possibly lose sight of a car coming towards us. So in that dip, what can we see that that car is doing? So we've got a straight dip, here's the dip, and you could actually lose a car there. So as I said, if someone was coming towards you, you've got to think, is there a car there? So the earliest thing you can do is look far enough ahead so that you can see any car that might go into that gap, into that dip earlier, and you'll know it's there, because if you haven't seen it before the dip, then it isn't there. So now we've got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up. So I'm currently doing 46, so I'm going to drop that speed right down to 30 miles an hour as we come into the village of Icklingham. So the road tells us, and the sign tells us, that the road bends round to the right, and we've got a sign that shows there is a turning to left as well. And look at that bend, so we've got an almost 90-degree bend there. So we're just going to see how early we can see something coming down the road, because we want to know if there's a lorry parked up or a refuse lorry or something like that. So we don't want to go charging into the bend unless we can see it's clear. So again, another loss of vision here, because we've got a bend to the left, and that's quite a tight one. So I'm just going to keep a tiny bit of power on the bend just to stabilise the car as we go around. And we've got another sweeping bend round to the right now. And now the road, as you can see, goes round to the left. So we're looking at a series of different bends here. And now we've got a sign that tells us there'll be oncoming vehicles in the middle of the road. So that tells us the road is going to narrow. So now we've got our bend to the right. We've also got some houses. We've got some parked cars coming up on the left. And we've got a bus coming towards us. So he'll need a bit more room than the average car. So I'm just dropping the speed. I'm actually doing a bit less than 30 miles an hour now, because we're going to have people on the pavements. As you can see with this guy here, we've got a car that's pulled out in front of the silver pickup. So that might have made the silver pickup slow down and take some kind of evasive action. So we're keeping it at 30 miles an hour. So we've got bends here, and now we've got another dip, but we can look at the trees. We can look at where the line posts go, and that gives us an indication of where the road goes. If we look at the top of the line post, we can see that that goes around to the left and it follows the road. Most of the time the line posts do follow the road. And we've got street lights here. We've got a house coming towards us, so that means the road bends around to the right, because we don't want to go through someone's lounge. And now we've got a loss of vision again, so it tells us there's a bit of a slope downwards, and we really can't see at that point. We've always got to stop in the distance we can see that's clear. So we've got another bend coming up to the right. So I'm getting as early vision as I can. So now we've got a national speed limit. So we're checking the mirrors. So we're got another bend to the left here, and the road dips away. So again, got a loss of vision, and we've got a sign telling us there's a sharp left bend and then a right hand bend. Slow markings in the road. And we're just dropping that speed down, because at the moment we can't see what's around the bend. So we're going to take an opportunity, if we can, to look across the fields to the right. Then we can see the tops and the roofs of the cars that are coming down the road. So we can see then what's coming up early, and we can also see the road bends around to the right. So now we've got a road that the road bends to the left. So again, that's the furthest point we can see in the distance. And as we get round the bend, the road opens up and we can see any more traffic. So we can look across the fields to the right. We can see traffic coming towards us in the distance. So wouldn't really be able to see as much of that if it was summer, because there'd be a lot more leaves and things on the bushes, so that would take that vision away. But it's quite good to see. I can look right across the fields there and see the bridge. And I can see up ahead there's a change of speed limit sign, so I've got to be aware of that, and the road bends to the left. So I'm checking my mirrors, making sure the guy behind's not rushing up too close, and I've got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. So I've got to make sure that I hit the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit before the speed limit, or so the speed limit is effective from the sign. So we don't want to be driving into the speed limit of 45 and then slowing down. So we're still got our 30 speed limit, bend to the right, and now we've got to bend to the left, so we can see where that car's gone just now. So we're moving over a little bit to the right, still keeping on our side, and just seeing what's around the bend. So that gives us a slightly earlier vision of what's coming. It's only a split second, but if we see a car in that split second, it's to our advantage. So again, you can see the line posts there in the trees. They actually look like they're in front of us, which means the road goes round either to the left or the right. It's a good early indication of what the road's actually doing. So again, got our 30 markers on the road. On this road here, although it's 30 miles an hour, there actually isn't any street lamps. So normally if you're in a sort of urban area and you see street lamps and no 30 sign, you know it's a 30 limit. But there's no street lights along here, so they actually post quite helpfully a 30 sign. And the line posts there go round to the left hand side. So that tells us we've got bend to the left again. So again, it looks like the hedge is in front of us as we're heading to the bend. So we don't ever want to accelerate when we can't yet see the roads clear. So we'll get a bit of vision there as it opens up. And now we can see a speed limit sign, which is the national speed limit. So we're checking our mirrors, making sure no one's overtaking. And I'm getting the gas back on, but I've still got a bend over to the right. So checking the mirrors again. Just seeing if I can get an early view. There's my car, and we've got a turning off the left hand side. And if it's a brown sign, it usually tells you there's some kind of tourist spot, so you can see somewhere possibly to pull off and stop. So I've got a sign there that says reduce speed now, slow sign in the road, and I've got bend to the right and then bend to the left. So I've got 2 chevron markers there. So that tells us it's going to be a fairly kind of steep type turn, and there it is. So again, got another bend to the left, so we can't really put too much power on because we can't see what's around the corner. 2 chevron markers to the left, and the line posts are going left. Another couple, in fact, got 3 chevron markers here, so that gives us a bit more information about the bend. So generally speaking, the more signs, the more information we've got about the bend, the sharper it's going to be. So usually if you've got 1 chevron sign, it's only a slight bend. If you've got 3 chevron signs and you've got markings in the road saying slow and lots of bends to the left sign, it's going to be a fairly tight bend. So great example of bends here. Goes around to the right. And we've got crossroads here, so we're looking for any cars that might be emerging. And there's one on our left. So we're making sure when a car's coming towards us from the side, good idea to have a look at their wheels. If the wheels are still turning and maybe the person in the car's not looking at you, they haven't seen you, and then you've got no idea that they're actually going to stop. So if he's looking at you and the wheels have stopped turning, then there's a good indication he's not going to pull out in front of you. So we've got a 50 mile an hour speed limit, but we've got a bend round to the right, so we're only going to get up to speed as soon as we see that road opening up. So basically, you can adjust your speed by always knowing that you can stop in the distance you can see is clear. That's quite a big one to think about really, because that's quite a lot of ground that you're covering. So it's always important to be able to stop in the distance you can see to be clear. And we're still in the 50, so bend round to the left, then a bend round to the right. So we've got no sort of deviation signs there, so it's not going to be a particularly tight bend. We've got a 30 mile an hour sign, and we've got a bend round to the right and a bend round to the left. So again, I'm dropping that speed down to 30 miles an hour as soon as we hit 30. So bend round to the right, sharp bend round to the left. So again, looking for that early vision of what's around the corner, because there's lots of houses, so as we get round the corner we might find a car pulling out in front of us, coming out of a driveway or something. So if you lived there, you'd want people to not come flying around that corner at high speed. So we've got a give way sign on the left there, which is an early indication it's facing to the left. So it gives us an indication that there could be someone coming out. Another little tool that you can use to help you see what's down the road. So we've got a national speed limit, so I'm checking the mirrors. So for me, I feel happy, I can get a bit of speed on here. So I've got a bend coming to the right. So I'm not going to lift off the gas completely, just want to reduce it a little bit, and if you keep a little bit of gas on the bend, then it does keep the car nice and stable as you go around the corner. But the important thing before you do that is making sure that you've got the speed right for the bend. And by doing that early observation to see what's coming up ahead, you're always going to be in the right speed and know just how sharp the bend is. So we can see a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit ahead. So we're dropping the speed right down again as we go into the village. So again, sharp bend to the left. Now we've got a roundabout sign here. In fact, it's a double roundabout. So I'm going to take a right-hand turn at this roundabout. And the first roundabout is a right turn. So I'm getting out to the centre of the road, seeing what's coming up from the right. So I've got a couple of vehicles there, that's fine. So as I go around the roundabout, I'm getting over to the left-hand side, putting a left signal on, looking to the right, anything coming up, and that's fine. So my name's Brian Thomas. I'm hoping that you enjoyed that clip on bends. It's a great road not far from Mildenhall, so it's lots of fun, quite challenging, and it really does show the kind of things that you need to be looking out for on bends. So as I say, if you'd like to go out for some driving sessions with me, I know we can make a difference and make you feel confident on the road. And bear in mind the cost of the course. It's only £95, and a speeding ticket in the UK is £100. So we can hopefully save you some speeding tickets and also keep you safe, and I think that's 3 hours well spent. Thanks very much. See you soon.